What's going on, everybody? It's Taylor Redheart here, back again. Today we're going to be doing a deck profile on PSY-Frames. Now, PSY-Frames are a special kind of archetype, I guess you could say. They focus mainly on negating everything, really. That's what they do. This is using the new card, well, one of the new cards, because the other one, I don't like it at all. I think it's trash, but to look at it if you want. Anyway, let's just go ahead and hop right in. Well, for starters, let me just say, I'm going to say the same thing, kind of what I said with the Herald deck. The Herald deck can ruin friendships, yeah. This deck's worse with it. This deck, the entire purpose of it is I'm going to say no. You're playing no. That's all you're playing. You're not playing cards, you're playing no. I'm going to tell you, I don't want you to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Anymore. That's what I'm doing. But anyway, let's go ahead and hop right in. So for starters, 3 PSY-Frame driver, because you're running the pure build. So driver, you need him to do the plays, bottom line. Next thing is the new one. This is PSY-Frame Multi-Threader. What she does is, it's, to sum it up quickly, if a PSY-Frame card would be destroyed, you discard her, and she protects it. So basically, she's used for protection of your field spell, in my opinion. That's the main thing I like her for. And then she's also considered driver. She's another PSY-Frame driver, quote unquote. But one of the best things, though, is she makes Call of the Haunted busted, because when a PSY-Frame card is summoned, you can summon her from the grave, but banish her when she leaves the field next time. So you Call of the Haunted one of these little guys that you already so say you like use Gamma Synchro, or Gamma get this effect Synchro, and then you have a call for Gamma, bring her back, and then you can make 2 Omegas in one turn. Kind of silly. So I think she's an all-around good card. I run her at 3 just because of the protection, frankly, because one of the worst things that can happen in this deck is you have the field spell out, and then you negate something, so you summon this, and then you summon your driver, and then you activate the field spell's effect. You have to activate the field spell, and then they flip an MSD. You just cry in your corner. That's all you can do. So that's why I run her. I like her. I think she's really useful. Now into the actual gears. The simple bottom line, it's what every PSY-Frame player runs: 3 Gamma, 3 Beta, 3 Delta, and 3 Alpha. This is your main searcher. So you do not run Epsilon because traps aren't really useful. The only traps you're going to go against is going to be traps that when you already have monsters on board, like warning, stuff like that, yada yada yada. So there's no point. I don't like Epsilon. I really don't like him at all, so I just don't run him. Next, card. What can I say? You don't do stuff. You don't summon your turn very often. You very rarely do stuff your turn, so card is really good. Under the spells, PSY-Frame Circuit. It's what can I say? It's needed for the deck. You have to have it. Triple Duality. Again, you don't really do stuff your turn, so duality doesn't really matter. Psychic Field. Now, I love and I hate this card. I do. It's a good card, don't get me wrong, but I don't like it because I don't get to use it very often. I really don't. It's like, because the entire purpose is really, you get this on board and then you try to keep it there. So then this becomes kind of useless because you don't banish all too much. You really don't. Yeah, if you open this up first turn, you're really never going to banish. You're never going to banish a tuner and then like a driver or a multi-threader. So, I still think it is needed though, because there are times where you don't open this and then all you do is banish, which is really sad. Under the traps, this card, the most busted card in the game. I'm gonna banish anything you want. Okay, this card is so stupid. Banishing stuff face down is brilliant. Next, the card that makes the deck. In all honesty, it really does. It's triple rippling or drowning, whatever it is. I don't care. The way TCG censors stuff is funny. It's Rippling Mirror Force. They had or maybe not censor, but the way they change names, so they changed it to drowning. Drowning's bad. You're drowning, you're dying, and then they won't censor that, but they censor like Elder God Norden. He's not God anymore. He's entity. TCG's weird. They don't understand it. They think 4-year-olds play this game, but it's not. Anyway, on to the next trap, Daunting Pose, or Rise to Full Height. Again, something they changed the name of. I hate when they change names. But this card's very interesting. I recently just teched it in. I really, really enjoy it. I love this card a lot because this makes it to where you cannot attack. Because what you'll do is you activate this. So basically, you sync for an Omega. and then you activate this. So you activate this, your turn, opponent's turn, doesn't really matter. You make Omega's defense double or whatever monster you have, that doesn't matter. His defense becomes 0 and stays 0 forever. You don't care. So what you do after that is your opponent does anything. Use this effect, you banish it, target the Omega you have on your board. You can do this on opponent's turn, by the way, because this is the same thing as say like a Necrogarden. Yeah, it's because Necrogarden is the next battle damage you take. It becomes 0, so it's the same thing with this. You can banish this on your opponent's like main phase. So you banish this when they activate, they normal summon something. Banish this, all right, and then what you do, you target him. So now your opponent's monsters can only attack him. Then what you do, your opponent does something else. They special summon something. Chain his effect, banish a card from their hand. Your opponent now cannot attack because it has to attack him. Now what the card does, this card, it affects the opponent's monsters. It doesn't affect your monster. So what it does, so your monster can leave the field and that doesn't matter. The trap card affects the opponents. So if they have like the elemental hero Wildheart, I think's his name, he's unaffected by traps, he can still swing, but anything else, That's also good for your opponent has like 12k on board, you only have this. Banish it, target him, or target one of your other things, they can only attack that. So they kill that, then they can't swing anymore. Kind of stupid. I really, really enjoy this card. It makes the deck, it's more of a safe card, in my opinion. But you can make an Omega a 5200, a 5200 with Circuit, because you can discard PSY-Frame Driver. When a PSY-Frame monster attacks, you can discard a PSY-Frame monster from your hand, and the attacking monster gets that attack. So he gains 25. So you can make Omega a 5200. So you really don't have to worry about much swinging over stuff. So now on to the final two, or the final three, I guess. Final two, because they're different ones. Anyway, 2 Call of the Haunted. Call of the Haunted's, what can I say? Call of the Haunted's really, really good. If this was an OCG deck, which I'm thinking about, I might make an OCG PSY-Frame, because it's really, really useful. I would run Reborn as well, because Call of the Haunted's really dumb in this deck. Frankly, just because of this. This makes Call of the Haunted stupid. Because you can synchro for like 2 Omegas and like this in the same turn, if you have the grave set up for that. Final card, 1 Warning. Warning is Warning. It's useful. On the extra deck, you make level 8 synchros and level 7 synchros. And also you can make Exes, because you can potentially put multiple synchros on board. So what you do, for starters, Archfiend, it's Red Dragon Archfiend, Scarlight or Scarlight, whatever the name is, blah blah blah. He's good. I like him. He's useful. I actually have a Japanese version, I think. Anyway, now onto the Omegas. You run 2. You don't need 3. If you have 3, by all means, you can put them in. But you only really need 2, because kinda 2 Omegas is game. If your opponent has 1 card in their hand, you can seriously just keep looping your opponent, and they can continuously top deck forever. Because what you can do, you can be like, alright, your opponent draws. They go into main phase 1. They're transitioned into main phase. Omega's effect, banish the card. Alright, they end their turn because they can't do anything else. Your standby phase, the Omega that's on the field, put that card into the grave. So now they can't get it back. It's kinda dirty. Because you can literally just loop it forever. And you can just sit there and say, hey, you're not going to play anymore. Because they can't do anything. Because it's just... This deck's mean. Bottom line. Next thing, Scrap Dragon. Scrap Dragon's mainly here because you can pop this, which is really nice, because you actually want one of these engraved at all times. But because you can loop it with Omega and get infinite searches, because you banish it to get a search, Omega's effect, you can return it to the grave and then banish it again and get another search. Spark, what can I say? He's a fairly decent level 8. I would hands down eventually win. I say it's win. When Blood Mephist comes as not a prize card and not like $1,000 something, I would take this out in a heartbeat. But as of right now, no. If you don't know, I'm terrible at this. It's this guy. I would run him if I had one, but he's like $1,000, $2,000 or some shit like that. I can't remember. He's stupid expensive. It's retarded. Anyway, now to the rest of them. 1 Yazi. Yazi's just used for He's good. Odd Eyes Meteor Burst, this is basically, if you're dueling against Cosmos, you win, because they can't do anything then. Well, if you're dueling against Cosmos and they don't have their giant ships on the board already, they win. Well, you win, so that's useful. Clear Wing Synchro, I was running Crystal Wing, but it's a little too difficult to make, so I just decided to run a Clear Wing instead. Clear Wing's still really good against the right deck. For example, one thing is Cosmos. Cosmos can kind of be hurt against Clear Wing. Monarchs, but I don't really think Monarchs are really meta anymore, because, well, really, I don't think anything's meta. Meta is just like garbage right now, because no one knows what to play, because they're scared of the ban list coming out, and I understand. But to the next two Zeta, you do not need 3. You absolutely, if you have 3 Zeta, do not run 3 Zeta. You do not need 3 Zeta at all. That's just the bottom line. Psychic Life Transfer, this is one of my favorite cards in the deck, in all honesty, because you can set up, because you can banish your grave to make this card live. So say you only have like one of these banished, but you have this in grave, so you like sync for her. Well, and also say you're kind of like low on life. You use her effect, banish this, you gain 1200, and then you can synchro. So basically, you're using her effect, you're banishing, gaining 12, and then you're synchro summoning. I like her a lot. Black Rose, because Black Rosing on opponent's turn is dirty. Ancient Fairy Dragon, because this is actually very, very useful. For starters, search your field spells, which is nice, so you can go ahead and get more, and again, you can gain life with it, which is good, which is also good. And then the fact that she can turn herself into any one of these you want at the current time. So she's pretty useful. Now onto the ranks, because you can make them. Number 38, because running Born to Gates is fun. And then Flare Metal, because Flare Metal is Flare Metal. Like, yeah, Burning for 5 is also nice. Because Flare Metal can be really scary if they don't have the means to get over him. And even if they do, it's probably going to be more than 500 damage they're going to take. They're going to take 1,000, 15, 2k, something like that. And more than likely, you're going to overlay Flare Metal with both of these. So the moment they destroy it, you're then going to use their effects, return them to grave, and get any of these that you need from your grave, which is also nice. So that's basically it, guys. I'm trying to do more of these videos. I'm trying to get more stuff out there. I might do a couple duel videos in the near future. I'm not really sure. If you have an idea of a deck I should build, or a deck you want me to try out, just go ahead, link it in the description, and I'll try it, I guess. Anyway, I'll catch you in the next video. Peace, guys.